think about how you treat your doctor. You probably see him or her regularly. You trust their expertise and you follow their advice without much hesitation. If they're going to prescribe you a medication, you're likely picking it up on the way home. But here's the question. Should we be treating our financial advisors the same way? Believe it or not, your doctor and your financial advisor have a lot more in common than you may realize. Just like a doctor helps you stay fit and physically healthy, your financial advisor helps you stay financially fit. Whether you're planning for retirement, managing debt, or just trying to make smarter money moves, this conversation could be the checkup that your finances need. And here to lead us through that conversation is Jacksonville's retirement coach, Adam Wolf, certified financial planner, CPA, and president of Wolf Retirement Navigation. You can learn more at wolfretirement.com or by calling 904-232-8760, located right here in Jacksonville, Florida. Okay, so today's topic, doctors and CFPs. Adam, it's always good to see you. I'm going to jump right in and ask, how do you see your role as a certified financial planner similar to that of a family doctor when it comes to preventative care?
Yes, a great question. Thanks for jumping on here, Alyssa. Love it when we do these. Clients are giving us some great feedback on it too. So anytime we can get this information out, that's what we're here to do. I love it. So, obviously doctors, they've gone through a lot of education and training to get to where they are. The way I like to equate it is, I did not go to school for 1,000 years to become a surgeon. But I went to school for long enough and it did enough hard exams and a lot of, now I'm coming up on over 25 years of experience. Did my first tax return for a fee for a CPA firm in 1999, which seems like, seems like
just yesterday.
Yeah. I just got a couple gray hairs now, but less hairs is happening every week. So the way I like to equate it is trying to equate it with other financial professionals or financial advisors, because there's different levels and different people. You can go and get your insurance license and call yourself a financial professional within 40 hours of taking a class and taking an exam. There are also all kinds of credentials out there that you see at the end of people's names. Some of them, people had to really work hard and study and do multiple years of training and expertise in background of college to get those designations, the CFP practitioner designation, also the CPA license that I do have in the state of Florida as a fiduciary for folks on the tax side. It's a huge deal. So, but 25 years of experience to equate it, not all doctors are the same. A surgeon who specializes in something, we specialize in retirement. There are general practitioner financial advisors. There are general practitioner doctors that specialize and really don't specialize, but they're general. They look at a little bit of everything of your body. But what we like to do is be preventative. Anytime we could sit down with folks, go through all of their information, go through all of their goals, their wants, their desires to make their retirement as stress-free and as low risk for the growth level we want to obtain as possible. That's what we do. Unlike doctors, we have a better bedside manner, I think.
I would agree.
I do not want a surgeon, really wanting to know too much about my family. I want them to go in there and fix my ACL tear that I had a long time ago. I want them to do that. I don't want to be nice to me. I just want to fix the tear. That's what we're here to do. We're here to help solve the problems and be a lifelong relationship for people. Unlike a lot of the transactional doctors that people face, hopefully you don't want to see the doctor every 6 months or every year. We want to see our clients every 6 months, every year. It means that they're enjoying things. It means they're having a good time with their retirement. And then we're also going to be here for you down the road when the unfun things happen, a death in the family, a lifestyle change, an illness, a sickness. We're going to be here for you as well. So we want to build those lifelong relationships with our clients, and we have to be here over time as their life changes. That's what we're here for.
And I imagine, like you said, you're on the preventative side. So much like a doctor, if we're in and we're having these conversations, you're going to catch things that will help us down the road so that we are prepared for those life things that happen, a death in the family, a divorce, things that we don't want to think about maybe early on, and no different than we want to think about health issues when we go to the doctor. But if you're having those conversations now, hopefully it can ease the burden of those later in life.
Correct. I mean, the biggest things is reducing or eliminating the risks ahead of time. There's market risk, having the right amount of market risk or no market risk at all to eliminate the unknowns. With the market risk, there's the tax risk, the risk of taxes going up for individuals in the future. We want to get ahead of that and tax plan, healthcare risk, long-term care risk, the risk of running out of money, which is the big one for clients. If we can eliminate and reduce or significantly reduce the levels of those risks, that's going to allow us to sleep better at night with our retirement, enjoy our retirement, relax in retirement, which is what the name of the game is, because you didn't work 30, 40 years to get to this point to not enjoy it. That is the goal, is to enjoy your money in retirement.
And having that relationship with someone that's been with you on that journey makes a big difference in then helping decide what might be best for their situation as it changes. If they've been with you from day one and they know what your goals and your dreams are, then as life is happening, you're helping them make decisions that align with those dreams and visions.
Exactly. And the way I look at it also is I meet a lot of people who already have advisors or already talked with some people, and they have these advisors for the period of their life to grow their money, to accumulate their money. The general practitioners, most of them are, and hey, they put their money away. They met with them maybe once a year at most, and hey, you're on the right track. You're growing your money. Everything's fine. Put some more money away. That kind of advice, because retirement is so specialized and there's so many moving parts that are different from accumulating your money. We are looking to preserve, protect, grow. Be careful, extremely careful with taxes, because that's the number one expense in retirement, and make your money last to enjoy. It's a totally different subset. We don't do 529 plans. We don't sit there and try to accumulate money for 30-year-olds. We only work with folks who are nearing retirement and in retirement, who do not want to have a lot of stress and a lot of risk in retirement. That's what we specifically do. That's our niche.
Are there emergency things that happen, like in an emergency room physically? Are there emergencies that happen financially, a loss of a job, a divorce, a death, things that should trigger us going in and having a conversation with our advisor?
Yes, many folks that I meet with for the first time are in those emergency moments. It's a divorce. How do I handle my new life after this divorce, and splitting of the assets, making sure that I can live off my new situation versus the situation that I had prior to divorce. Another one that we meet with a lot of times is people who have either been forced out, or I take this job and shove it. I can't work here anymore. And I hopefully people come see me and come see us before that happens. Give us a couple months. We can
right.
lay it all out and be great. And then also we've had some clients that have referred to us where their husband has passed or their wife has passed, and being able to help out with that, making sure things are going to be okay. Now, for clients that we work with, yes, life's going to happen. God forbid somebody gets sick, we lose a parent, we lose a spouse, God forbid we lose a child. Like, there's a lot of different things that can happen. We met with you at, we were 58 years old. We met with you. We weren't ready to retire yet, even though financially we were a couple of years away. Maybe we could at 62, but now I don't like this commute anymore. They're forcing me back to the office for my remote job. I don't want to do this anymore. I know financially we're ready, so let's pull the trigger and let's do it. And so that's a lot of times with clients that we've done a lot of work with along the way, but then that next step, that triggering moment, allows us to then continue to develop that relationship and make sure that their retirement is going to be wonderful. And it's financial freedom for most. It's not necessarily just a retirement. It's financially free, never having to live off your income from work anymore. Now turning your assets and all of your income streams to do what you need to and have done in retirement, which is the goal.
And that looks different for everybody. Everybody's different. Everybody's definition of financial freedom varies.
Exactly.
Are there any red flags that you look for if someone's coming in for, say, an initial consultation with you?
Oh, red flags from the folks that I meet with for the first time?
Yeah, if they're coming in, you said, sometimes it's an emergency situation.
Yeah, no, I joke about that because we got some great stories. I'll tell you. If somebody's listening to this, ask me about my Tim Tebow lady that came in.
Okay.
And I love Tim Tebow. Met Tim Tebow. He does great things with Night to Shine. But ask me on a different date about that. But hopefully the huge red flags for potential clients, Andrea and Robin and Harley have removed them from my life before I even meet them. So that's the goal.
Fantastic.
So red flags, I would say, if I look at it from a red flag perspective, it's hard to say red flags. I look at it more of being in a situation where people want to see their retirement for what it is. It's about enjoying it. If the goal for some people is just to save everything and take it all with them, when they pass, it's hard. It's hard to enjoy, and it's hard to build a plan out for somebody who doesn't want to enjoy their retirement and spend their money. It's really a mindset of folks who want to relax, enjoy, and then open to suggestions and tweaks and plans that we put together. Not everybody is going to like my personality. Not everybody's going to like my company's personality, and that's okay. We're not here for everybody, but
Sure.
if somebody wants to come in and get a great plan, and that's why we do the complimentary plans, to get to know each other, kick the tires a little bit. So we want to make sure that we're going to be a good compatible fit for the long term, not just now, not just next year, but for the long term over your financial life. And that takes a lot of trust and takes a lot of communication to make sure that we're on the right track there.
How often do you find that emotional maybe blocks or emotional factors come into play with that partnership? Do you find that there are people that are just, they have an emotional block about money, and that's preventing them from the ability to enjoy retirement?
Yeah, a lot of people do. I mean, it's next to your family, your nest egg, your retirement. That's the second, in my opinion, the second most important thing in your life. Let's call it third, family and health. Mm-hmm. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything. It's really difficult. It's really difficult. So, but after that, your finances, your retirement, your nest egg, it's big. It's as serious as a heart attack. It's one of those things where talking through the nature of where you've come to where you are today, and coming up with a plan that spells out the flexibility of spending it, the flexibility of using it to live off of and pay your bills. And then from there, developing the fun stuff in life, and that's what it's all about. And everybody's different, and we're going to go through a lot of different things. I've had clients who were so scared to death. Many people have heard me tell this story before. They were so scared to death, they did not want to buy a separate piece of cheesecake at Carrabba's. And because they didn't each want their own piece of cheesecake, it wasn't because of calories. It was because they were cheap to buy their $7 piece of cheesecake. And from there, that was over 14 years ago. From there, fast forward to the point where they were so flexible that they took their grandkids on a cruise, over in Alaska. They've taken them to Disney World, and thank goodness they did, because health caught up with them both. And now they had these great memories with their kids and their grandkids and their family members. And that's what it's all about. And they had plenty of money and plenty of income. It's just, it is a sacrifice, a scarcity mindset, which is really great while you're growing your money and you're putting it away and you're saving for the rainy day, which is retirement. And now it's hard to make that shift. So to get back to the original question, yes, half my job, I mean, especially if there's two folks involved, is balancing the math and the financial with the emotional. And because the emotional is just as big. And, I'm not a therapist. I don't have a license for therapy, but a lot of questions that I get are non-financially related, and that's what we help solve. So.
And it goes back to why it's so important to work with somebody that you trust and you feel like you're on the same wavelength, because it is as intimate as a doctor's visit to share your financials. As you said, you've been working your whole life for this nest egg, and now you're opening the book for your financial advisor to sit opposite with you and look at all of what you may feel are shortcomings or have concerns about, and you're sharing that. So there's a vulnerability there. So the last correlation I see between doctors and financial advisors is that you can tell if we haven't been doing our homework. As you said, the math has to math and the numbers don't lie. If we're talking about a number on a scale or a number in our retirement account, if people aren't doing the advice that you're giving, you can tell. Am I right?
Yes. I was just thinking, so you know how people, we don't want to fat shame. You don't definitely. You just said your scale doesn't lie, but I'm just saying, what if we math shame somebody? That's going to be me. And I'm going to trademark that for people.
All right, there's your new tagline.
We're going to math shame people. I'm kidding. No, so it's a big deal because we have to be empowered. And we go through the process with clients, and a lot of folks, either they're different stages. Hey, I don't know too much about what I have. I know enough to understand it. I know enough over time. I have some folks who are, my engineer spreadsheet guys and gals that come with their spreadsheets, and every number ties in to the bottom and to the summary page, and everybody in between. So what we need to do is when we go through the process, we need to understand everything. We need to ask all of our questions and learn as much as possible about what we have and what we're trying to accomplish. And that's what we're here for. We're here to bridge that gap to get people from to and through retirement successfully and with the least amount of risk, most amount of return for that risk, and to eliminate and reduce as many risks as possible in retirement. And that's what we do, especially over the last 5-6 years. You have to you have to be a proponent of an advocate for yourself. I've gone through it with so luckily, I have a wonderful sister who's a nurse practitioner who has been able to navigate the whole storm, which I'll call it a cancer storm, which my dad went through, to be there for him. And because he would have just shook his head and said, yes, that's great, but they might have killed him with too much chemo prior to when he passed. So without having that advocate that's there with you to help you along the way, you got to take it upon yourself. It's your responsibility, but also have an advocate. That's twice as good, because then you know what questions to ask. Then you know how to get them answered. You can do your research prior to. Dr. Google can be dangerous, and now with Dr. Google AI version, it can be real dangerous. There's lots of stuff online right now that is wrong.
Right.
So be careful with that. But that's what we're here to help people with, to get to and through retirement successfully and get all the questions answered.
So if somebody's listening to this and they're realizing it's been a long time since I have had a financial checkup, or maybe I haven't been at all, how can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, you give us a call here at the office, 904-232-8760. Speak with either Harley or Robin. And then Andrea will be back from her maternity leave here shortly as well. So you may speak to Andrea. Baby's doing great. And then Andrea's doing great. Malcolm, he's even doing great too. So with 2 daughters now.
He's outnumbered.
Now 4 daughters. He's 4 daughters deep. So good luck, Malcolm. But no, you give us a call. We'll get on my calendar, and then we go from there.
Fantastic. So if you're ready to build, not just plan, you're looking for a lifelong partnership, be sure to check out wolfretirement.com, or as Adam said, call 904-232-8760. Be sure to subscribe so that you never miss an episode in our witty banter. Adam, it's always so great to talk to you.
Great to talk with you too, Alyssa. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Investment advisory services offered through Coil Capital LLC, a registered investment advisor. Wolf Retirement Navigation LLC and Coil Capital LLC are not affiliated. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against loss in periods of declining values. Opinions expressed are subject to change without notice and are not intended as investment advice or to predict future performance. Past performance does not guarantee future results. Consult your financial professional before making any investment decision. This information is designed to provide general information on the subjects covered. It is not, however, intended to provide specific legal or tax advice and cannot be used to avoid tax penalties or to promote, market, or recommend any tax plan or arrangement. Please note that Wolf Retirement Navigation LLC and its affiliates do not give legal or tax advice. You are encouraged to consult your tax advisor or attorney. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurer. Any references to protection or benefits or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products. They do not refer in any way to securities or investment advisory products or services. Fixed insurance and annuity product guarantees are subject to the claims paying ability of the issuing company and not offered by Coil Capital LLC. Florida Insurance License Number W016816.